Hi, this is Red Self Existing Serpent video number 2. Red Self Existing Serpent is all about being self-existing and is a key component in the 13-day process that it is in, which is White Wind. White Wind is the second Mayan sign, and as such, it's a new learning on the planet around embodiment. So we have lots of dogma, we have lots of people aware of key spirituality phrases, key ancient wisdoms intellectually, and speak about them. One way to know that they're actually not embodied is the human being is not actually living that doctrine, because it's coming from a place of the head. It's not actually coming from a place of truth for the human being. And again, this also explains why we're stuck in repeating patterns of history and repeating the same old ancestral patterning and wounding, because the work has to be done on the inside. And once the human being understands the actual physiology, the biology and the psychology that go with that, then it becomes really clear as to how the whole human evolution process works and has been working for thousands of years. So this is what becomes evident when you actually work intuitively with the 260-day wave spell, and at the same time you start to become very consciously aware of your patterns. Consciousness is all about that, the individual becoming conscious about their patterns and their behaviours and how to change the behaviours and experiences that have come from wounding. So that is very complex, but paradoxically it's also simple. And how it's simple is, if you have an experience today where you have emotions that come up that are around anger, for example, or sadness, so you're not feeling in a really good space and you get triggered, this is really key, because all triggers are formed in the amygdala, in the emotional mind, as a burglar alarm, if you like, to explain that this is not safe. But instead of a big, long-winded, this is not safe, logical, 10-minute experience for that person, it's very quick because it's in the fight or flight system. So it could be a life-threatening trigger, for example. And this is the thing about the amygdala, is it doesn't differentiate in that way. It doesn't have a complex system because it just doesn't go together, it doesn't match up. It's quick, it's impulsive, it's often one-time learning. And so when we get triggered each day, that gives us a signal to say there's something going on here and it's a past event. If you learn how to work with that using the emotional freedom technique, for example, which is what I use and have been using for the past 12 years now, then you can actually work with that trigger and understand what created it and travel back in time to all the times that have matched that trigger and release that emotion and release that from your experience. Now, you don't lose the learning, you just lose the experience. And so this is life-changing, doing this process. And this is what I offer you and people who I work with, is every time there is a problem come up like this, there is a trigger, especially when it's very, very emotionally intense, this is a key gateway point to become the archetype that is red self-existing serpent, which means we are in the world and we are around other people, and we can have a really good life experience free from any abusive relationship, free from any need to be carrying on any sort of relationship or be around anyone who is not treating us in a loving, respectful way, without any need for fighting, without any need for focusing on them either. On one level, the focus is on the individual for themselves. So this is so liberating and so dynamic as well. EFT is a cutting edge therapy. It's been around for a while now, and again, it isn't for everyone, because that's how this holograph works. That's how this is working now, for people to really come into experiencing the shift. And each person comes in at the perfect time. So again, the ego often wants, as a coping mechanism, to focus on the outside, to focus on other people, instead of focusing on these intense feelings and experiences from the past, because that's what it's designed to do. But once the individual has awareness of this and becomes very aware, then they can start to make a difference in their own life in a very dynamic way. So really, it's letting go of other people and letting go of letting other people's often very strong, embedded, familiar comfort zone behaviour dominate your life. On the planet, we do have that very strong masculine behaviour that is, again, I don't mean just men, I mean masculine as in the masculine within human beings, that is trying to control, that is trying to make people live in a way that they don't want to live. And just to give you an example, just notice your own behaviour, so that if you have something happen to you and it doesn't feel good, so maybe somebody's upset with you about something you did in particular, then if you are a caring person, you won't want to do that again. So you can often go into overdrive around that particular behaviour. Really start to focus on it. And again, this isn't healthy either, but it's what tends to happen. And actually, once you look in depth at behaviours and patterns and how things are going generally in the Western culture, it is all around control, it is all around fear most of the time. And so this is what can be focused on, is just letting go of the fear of not pleasing other people, of not meeting their emotional needs. And we're not here to do that for other people. We're not here to parent other people. We're here, apart from genuine children, we're here to learn how to parent ourselves and nurture ourselves. And in the current situation on the planet, most people have experienced parenting in a way that hasn't met their emotional needs. So again, it's looking at holistically what a human being needs to feel really good, to feel supported, to have an enjoyable, happy life. And one of the key things about this as well is feeling safe in the world, having a home, and to have enough money, because we live in a money society, to be able to do that. And you can see how one aspect of this pattern has become a huge focus and a narcissistic pattern on the planet, so that in a lot of ways everything has become about money, everything has become about buildings rather than caring about the people. And there is no lack of money in the world, truly, because again, most of it is now made up. You know, it's not based on any gold reserve, it's not based on actually any assets anymore. It's literally electronically created. And again, if you look to research that, you will see the evidence for it. But if you look at history and you look at key money patterns and key money people in society, and look where that money came from, follow the money trail, and just do your research and see how that money was acquired. And most of the money on the planet has been acquired through slavery systems, where some people who have nothing have had to take work offered by people who were the people supplying the money. Now that sounds very simple, but actually if you look deeply into researching this, you'll see a pattern, and you'll see a pattern around certain commodities. And if you go deeper into researching those commodities, you will also see that a lot of these valuable commodities, you'll see where they come from geographically, and you will also see how many of them are very unhealthy for the human being. So again, when you look at the bigger picture vibration of this, if you look at the pattern, the archetype, whatever you want to call it, you can see that there are certain patterns and archetypes that are very unhealthy for human beings. And even the ones who seem to be in a good position financially, again, often they're not happy people, because, on a deeper level, why would you be happy creating your own happiness when somebody else has to be miserable? It's a very sick pattern, isn't it? So this is what I offer you. Read Self Existing Serpent. This is what it's about. It's about becoming self-existing on all levels in a healthy way, so that we are living a life where we feel we are sharing our gift, we are sharing who we really are, we're being who we really are. We're not afraid to be that. We're not hurting anybody else in order to do that. We're coming from a really good space within us. We're not people pleasing. We're not trying to manage other people. We're not bullying other people. All of these coping mechanisms of the ego are not healthy. And at the same time, until we can, as an individual, feel safe and are interdependent, then often we carry on with these behaviours in order to survive. So Red Self-Existing Serpent is going beyond the survival. So first of all, learning how to meet all our survival needs in a healthy way. And what I offer you is actually, once you go into really working on a deeper level with this, all the times when you have experienced fear, where you have experienced not feeling good in the world from being a very young person, then once you start to really clear these, it will start to become clearer. And this is what the Mayan 260-day Wavespell process is all about. It's about aligning with healthy patterns that are free of codependency. And now is the time on planet Earth that is really, really starting to happen in a big way. If you'd like to know more information about that, please do get in touch with me, and have a look on my website, which is flowwithjo.com. There are lots of resources on there. I'm really passionate about people living the life that they want to live and be in the gift in a healthy way, in a way that's coming from a place of love and respect without any need to hurt anybody else. Once a person really becomes aware of their code and their ancestral patterning, the revelations really start happening then around how each day we are repeating the story in some way, and we get the insights around that. And again, the whole matrix that we're in is a reflection of us and our belief systems and our coding. And how is that even possible? That is just so amazing that there is a consciousness that has created that, you know, whatever your belief system is around that. And again, with the work that I do with people, and especially, you know, for myself first and foremost, is around animal totems, bird totems, and the beings that show up every day. So again, I call it following the cosmic cookie trail, and it's really magical, so that when a bird, for example, shows up in your life, it is always significant. Nothing is random in this holograph. How can it be? We're all working to this amazing framework, this co-creation with the divine that we are. And the more that we become aware and the more that we become clear, the more that we can actually embody the divine, because we are the Grail. And this is yellow human in the Mayan signs, which is the 12th Mayan sign. So the yellow human is the philosopher's stone. We see how we are flowing with energy, the kundalini of red serpents, how we're flowing with that. And wherever we're not flowing with that, wherever things are appearing in our body around energy blocks and illness, then there is always a reason for that. And our body can heal itself as long as we align with healthy ways to be for the human being. So in terms of letting go of anything that is toxic in our environment on every level. I hope you're having an amazing white wind wave spell, and that you are enjoying the process building up to the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. It's really an amazing time to be alive, and we have Leo waxing moon again today as I'm making this. So I'm just going to read you the degree. A hummingbird feeding at a trumpet vine. Heightened perception, exquisitely poised, brilliant, and as fast as can be. You have the genius of seeing things, knowing things, and being there. Overflowing with destiny bounty earned over many lifetimes, yet you bring all this through with a fine-tuned ability to land in the situation at hand, with only as much as can be worked with. You are guided to follow an extraordinary course through the world, which features the perfect opportunities to tap what is inside in so many different ways. The blessings, the grace, the heart's wonder are super full. As this way of being ripens and matures, it becomes even better. Then you can begin to draw out from others the same kind of marvels and wonders, and to make it possible for the vibrancies to spread and grow. With a wildfire capacity to spread good news and bring affirmative realizations wherever they are needed in generous profusion, you work with ever more effortless capacity to bring this world alive. So this is really what's available to us at any moment when we can really get clear about who we truly are. and have the courage to be the gift that we are, knowing that this is what we're here to do in this lifetime. Lots of love. See you soon.